I'm back at Acerite. It's always a pleasure to be at Acerite. I'm here with Peter O'Connor, columnist, and this is also part-time resident of Acerite, the Acerite Nature Center. And Peter is very concerned about some developments with quarrying. Quarrying appears to be peaking over nearby ridge, and this is of great concern because we're all aware of the kind of impact that quarrying has on wildlife.
Yes. Well, as you know, Paulo, there are 4 quarries down in the valley down there, and we've had problems with all of them and have been in dialogue with governments over the years on trying to get some at least controls on their operations in terms of good practice. We have not yet been successful, but recently National Quarries Limited have moved around a ridge. They were out of sight before, and without telling anyone in the community or Acerite, suddenly they are right in front of us. We are seeing a whole mountainside being denuded of forest, and we are in a position now where for the first time ever we actually hear the equipment working.
Yeah.
So this is we need to know what is happening, and we needed this stop because Acerite is a very special and precious place internationally. One day we here will appreciate this a little bit.
I learned firsthand of the kind of impact that quarrying can have in such an environmentally sensitive area. The Simla Research Facility, which is also world-renowned, is owned by the Acerite Nature Center. I spent some time at that facility, and I've seen firsthand the kind of impact that quarrying has had at that facility. The amount of wildlife that scientists have grown accustomed to seeing on a regular basis there, that is diminished significantly, and that is believed to be directly linked to the excessive quarrying activities, which have now essentially created almost a plateau of Simla. They've almost quarried almost entirely around Simla.
They are right around Simla. The noise, I've just come from Simla incidentally, the noise there all day long is highly oppressive. The vibration, you can imagine that no wildlife wants to be around there, and our resident caretaker there says you simply don't see the wildlife that was once there.
Yeah. And this is, unfortunately, this will be the fate for Acerite if we don't stand up against this kind of thing. It may be viewed as a preemptive strike. If that's what we have to do, then so be it. But this is something that we cannot allow to pass without some kind of resistance. Quarrying is rampant in this country, and occasionally we go online and we bellyache about it. But this is something. I think this is where we have to draw some kind of line.
It will be a disaster if the famous iconic view of the Acerite veranda, which is known all over the world, becomes a view of a huge quarry face and equipment working, and that appears to be happening. But I believe Acerite is taking this issue up with government, and from there we will see what's happening. We hope they will have a more sympathetic hearing than we've had in the past.
For people who take the other side of the argument, remember this is not about opposition to quarrying. This is about rigid controls of quarrying. We're not advocating that people return to living in mud huts with thatched roofs. Obviously we need aggregate for development, but there has to be some kind of control. We can no longer tolerate this rampant, unregulated quarrying industry in this country.
No, they can't just move themselves into a whole new forested area without any form of study. If you wanted to build a small eco-lodge in these mountains, you need a CEC from the environmental management. But you can still, regardless of the promises made, you can still have a quarry of 149 acres with all the destruction it implies and brings, and you don't need permission from anybody. That is your right.
Well, I hope that the people out there get the message. Ordinary people like you and me, we can do something about this. We have to stand up and open our mouths. We have to stand up against this.
Thank you. Thanks, Paulo.